Every dollar has an assignment before the month begins, and you're in agreement with your spouse on that, and that is not a theory. It is the directive for your month. You live according to the numbers that you write down. You do not spend anything except what is written down without coming back and adjusting the budget. When you do that, you will add a layer of communication to your marriage that will change your marriage in a good way. When you do that, you will get the stress off of your back, because not knowing if anything's getting done will drive you crazy. If you can do everything but 3 things, you got all the stress off your back but 3 things. You limit the stress to the things you simply don't have the money to get to this month. A written budget, when you will lay it out and stick to it, will give you the sense that you have gotten a raise. It feels like you got a raise because your money is so stinking out of control when it's not in control. I know that's insightful. You can tweet that. Your money's it's not in control when it's not in control. I mean, really. That's the truth, though. It sounds so basic, but if you do not have a clear written plan that you and your spouse have a pinky swear and spit shake, it's a dadgum contract, we're going to stick to it. You don't have that. You're just hoping is all you're doing. You're not planning. You're hoping. If you worked for a company and you managed money for that company, and the company was called You Incorporated, and you managed money for You Incorporated like you manage money for you now, would you fire you? Don't answer that. Well, then don't be praying and asking God to send you financial blessings when you're misbehaving with the little that you do have. When you're faithful with the little things, you'll be given more to manage. Write it out. Write it down. Your stress is lowered, your communication and the quality of communication with your spouse is increased, your efficiency is up to the point that you will feel like you got a raise. You will make progress when you do this. Because even if you write it all down and you don't have enough to do everything, immediately what do you start doing? You're going, I got to get some income. I got to amputate some crap out of my life so that this thing balances. Because you know if your budget doesn't balance, you have to fix it. You know you have to do it. I mean, inherently, if you graduated from the 6th grade, you can do this. It's addition and subtraction. Probably the 4th grade. But you have to write it down and you have to look the beast in the face and say, Beast, we're going to pull a couple of your fangs here. Beast, you're going to get under control. I'm tired of you managing me. I'm going to manage you. The money beast will put its foot on your neck and hold you down your whole life until you stand up and say, I've had enough. On paper, on purpose. When you do a budget, it's a whip and a chair. You're the lion tamer. You're making that money dance. You're making that money behave. You're making it do what it's supposed to do. When you do this, you will find the money. Mad! I've had it! I worked too hard to be this broke! I am sick and tired of making $101,000 a year and getting nowhere! You have to have that thing come up inside of you. When it comes up inside of you, it changes your life. And then you have to have a clear path to run on, and that starts with the budget and the excess you squeeze out of the budget from increasing your income and decreasing your outgo by cutting back on things like not seeing the inside of a restaurant unless you own it or you work there. And don't talk to me about going on vacation. You're broke. Broke people don't go on vacation. You lay out the game plan and you get in attack mode. Beans and rice, rice and beans. Scorched earth. The formula is the deeper you sacrifice, the more money is freed up, and the faster you get out of the mess, and the faster you get into the prosperity, so that your life is changed and you're in a position to be outrageously generous. Your generosity factor increases as soon as you get control. As soon as you get the beast off of you. But it's hard to be generous when you're worried about your own electric bill being paid. It's hard to be generous when you don't know if you've got the money for food. It's hard to be generous in those situations. A written budget. Jesus said, don't build a tower without first counting the cost, lest you get halfway up and you're unable to finish. And all who see you begin to mock you and say, this man began to build and was unable to finish. It's time for you to stand up and say, that's it. I'm not living like this anymore. I'm going to get control of my dad blame life. I'm sick of walking around with this taste of regret in my mouth, feeling like I'm a financial fool. I'm sick of that. And when you get sick of that, you can change the taste in your mouth. Because you can do the math. Well, math bothers me. It's not hard math. This is not rocket surgery, baby. It's not hard. You can do it. But you have to. And let me just tell you, I hear all the theories. I hear all the people talk about it. I've read some of the dumb butt blogs that are written out there about money. And some of these people living in their mother's basement, they should not be allowed to have an opinion in public, okay? Seriously, this stuff's stupid. I've been doing this 25 years. I've helped millions, tens of millions of people get out of debt. And the way you do it is a written plan. There's no exception. You cannot out-earn your disorganization and stupidity. I've got 14 profit centers in our company. You think a VP walks into my office and says, you know, Dave, this quarter I'm going to kind of wing it. We're not going to really do our revenue and our expense and our profit projections this quarter. How do you think that would work in my office? If you work for a company and your job was to manage money for that company, and you walked in and said, you know, I'm just I kind of think I know what it's doing. I'm going to be okay. You think they wouldn't fire your little butt? Of course they'd fire your little butt, and you'd be deserving of a good firing because you'd be incompetent. And, you know, the good news about being incompetent in something as simple as a budget is you can just decide today, ta-da! Today I'm going to start being competent. You just decided, just like that. It takes 10 minutes on every dollar to lay this thing out. There is no freaking excuse for you to be walking around with regret on the back of your tongue, waking up with a financial hangover, wondering where all your dadgum money went. You gotta stop it. You gotta stop it. Sit down, do your written plan. Get your spouse on board. Start aiming at something intentionally. Make the sacrifices to go win. You can win.